Are we alcoholics?
No. Connoisseurs.
Hello, and welcome to another wonderful episode of the best cigars and whiskey podcast there is ever. And you know what it's called?
It's called whiskey.
Tobacco.
Fellowship.
Hey, we got it mostly right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Third time's the charm.
That's right. Third, fourth, eighth time. Perfect each time. No issues.
Right.
So today we are going to be talking about whiskey and tobacco, and then
What?
Yeah, I know. Can you believe
It's
it?
a weird concept.
It is. What the fuck, right?
Like WTF, man. What?
So today we are going to be drinking the Dettling. Okay, I'll make sure I pronounce it right. Dettling Bottle and Bond. All right, and there's a big deal by the reason why we're drinking this, and then what we're going to be smoking today, because we are sponsored by My Father Cigars. We will be smoking the Don Pepin ERH.
Vanna White over here.
Vanna White, that's right. And then, we'll be talking about the reason that this Dettling Bottle and Bond has gotten discontinued.
End of an era.
End of an era.
Man.
That's right. So, to start it out, let's give you a little bit of detail about the bottle from old Smokey the Baron right here.
What's up, guys? So, with the Dettling Bottle and Bond here, it's actually an Alabama whiskey distillery called Dettling. The thing about this is what we're showing today is this is their Bottle and Bond series. And honestly, it's the first Bottle and Bond in Alabama, actually. In 2019 is Alabama got their first Bottle and Bond. So it's a pretty big deal. I'm pretty happy to share it with you guys and share it with everybody here.
Right.
But
Is that an Alabama-based company?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
In my opinion, it should be Alabama's official whiskey is Dettling because
Definitely.
Wow, that's a
because
big
they made it
statement.
here, they distill it here, and it's bottled here. It's everything about it's Alabama. I think the official whiskey for Alabama is Clive's Maze.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But it is a sourced product. As of now, it's a sourced product. Currently, they're working on getting a distillery up, but they're here nor there. But Dettling, I've been a fanboy of Dettling for a while. I like how much care the owner Seth Dettling has in his products.
He's such a fanboy that actually my first two bottles was gifted, and also these two bottles are from him actually. And so
Look at that.
I know. So it's
Brought to you by Sir Metal Knight.
Thank you very much, Nettle. This is a fantastic pour. We can talk about it more here in a jiffy. But hey, Art, can you tell us more about the cigar we were smoking?
So this wonderful stick by My Father Cigars, the Don Pepin ERH, which stands for El Rey de los Habanos.
Hey,
I'm glad you did that.
That is a mouthful.
We need someone that can speak fluent Spanish here, just so they have a great pronunciation of
and not
these
just
words.
the accent.
We can have Carlito come on.
We can have Sarah that actually speaks Spanish.
So the great thing about this is the major theme we have going with all the cigars that you've seen us do so far, and we still have one, and there may be another one at the end.
Ooh.
At the end, a couple episodes from now.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert! Exactly. Is you've got this nice Nicaraguan stuff, right? That's the major theme
Big
with
fan
all.
of it anyway.
Yes, in general, I really like natural flavor sticks, and Nicaraguan typically is that.
Oh yeah.
So the wrapper on this thing is unique, and I specifically paired it with this because of its uniqueness. It's a Sumatran Rosado Oscuro. Okay.
Ooh.
Now, if anybody knows anything about Oscuro, then you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. So you have Connecticut, then you come into the sun-grown and the natural realm. Then you've got Maduro, right? Past Maduro is Oscuro.
Right.
Now you're thinking maybe, oh, that means it's darker, right? Not necessarily with Oscuro. Oscuro has this wonderful, I'd like to do a bar graph or a line graph where it kind of goes down, and it keeps staying on the down, but it kind of has this nice fruity kind of tang to it. That's what differentiates Oscuro from Maduro.
Yes.
Just generally speaking.
Right.
Generally
Typically, if you like Maduro, you're going to like Oscuro for sure.
Right.
But also, though, if you don't like Maduro, like I don't love Maduro too much. I love Oscuro cigars.
Right. Cool. Because Oscuro, in my opinion, it doesn't mask flavor. It adds to it. Whereas Maduro, if you put and fill and bind something with a lighter and then you just do the whole thing in Maduro, you're going to taste the Maduro, but not with Oscuro. It's going to have this accenting note to it. And so the binder for this thing is Nicaraguan, as well as the filler is also Nicaraguan.
It's all natural, baby.
Yeah. It's not a Puro like our last one, but you can't go wrong. I'm sorry. We just all love Nicaraguan, so that's what really helps here. This is the same as the last one. It's a medium to full body, but I would lean closer to the full. I would say it leans closer to the full.
I say we need to make a trip there, by the way.
You mean a Garth body? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, something
nice and full.
Nice and full. Yeah, something like that.
Some say bloated, but you never know.
I can't say anything.
Well, that's what she said.
I think we're gonna light this bad boy though.
You should go ahead and light it. So the great thing about this cigar, this Don Pepin ERH, I'm gonna try to do it again. El Rey de los Habanos.
Yeah.
I got it. Just do a little bit of the accent. It's tasting notes that you guys are going to notice. It's going to be kind of a powerful note of dark chocolate, so try to pay attention to that. The leather is going to be something that kind of mellows out the darkness on it, and this is really describing Oscuro. That's what it's really trying to do. And then with the Nicaraguan, you've got the earth, and then all of that combined kind of has that rich, spicy flavor all the way around.
First little draw on it, I definitely get the earth and a little bit of leather.
That's with Oscuro, that's what I've always found, to where opposed to Maduro, it's more chocolatey. I think Oscuro is more earthy, especially on the front end, on the initial pull and the taste on the wrapper itself. It's fantastic.
So the next question you might be asking yourself is, this sounds like a fancy ass cigar, right? Because the way I've described it, the way I've mispronounced what ERH is.
Sounds great. Beautiful label on the cigar.
Yes.
Too.
It looks like it would be in the premium cabinet. It would go crazy. It is a premium cigar.
See.
All of them, no matter the range, we're doing the Robusto. It ranges, it's median, it's about $10.
Oh.
Which is surprising.
That's insane.
It is, and again, even though My Father sponsors us, we're going to tell you the truth about something.
See,
always.
We're not going to lie about it. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to tell you what we think. And that may distract or dissuade some people. Hey, stop watching. I mean, the fact is,
we smoke what we like.
Yeah.
And I think the vast majority of people that we've come in contact with, talked to at the cigar lounge, if you say, "Hey, have you tried My Father?" 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Heck yeah, I have," and it's damn good. And pretty much everybody has tried My Father.
Damn good.
Yes, they have loved and enjoyed it, and the history on it and the passion that the Garcia family has for it, it's bar none.
You get a quick opinion on a cigar. You ask some people in the cigar lounge.
Yes, they
They'll
are
tell you.
brutally honest. Yeah, just asking about certain other brands that shall not be named.
we have, don't. That's a whole other show. That's a behind a paywall kind of show.
Right.
Because I can get brutal. Like,
yes.
gut it with a machete kind of brutal. Anyways,
On lighter notes,
let me light this thing up. Now, the wonderful thing about the Don Pepin series is it's always been good, no matter which one you get. There's some high end ones. One of the first ones we did for the My Father thing was a high end Don Pepin. So when this came out, as you heard from the first episode, this is a spectacular addition at the price point it's at.
Oh yes.
I mean, you can't beat this thing. We've been selling them like crazy.
Right, you want a good gift for somebody that makes them think that, hey, this is a very expensive cigar. This one, good stocking stuff.
Even for a good
birthday gift, anniversary, it could be even a retirement party. You never know. Like this for $10, can't beat it.
No.
You should get a bunch of them for it.
The wrapper on this thing has a wonderful muted gold for the lettering, and then the coloration is going to be kind of a blood red, but not a harsh blood red. It's kind
like
of
a candy apple red.
It is, but it's kind of a muted, a matte,
candy
candy apple red. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and their typical band style, which they go over the top with their
100%.
bands. And you know what's funny is I say that, Garth, it's, in my opinion, it's not over the top. It's what bands should be.
Yes, it's the standard of the industry should be what they do with their labels. Like, I feel the same way about whiskey bottles. Like,
They all should be Compass Box.
They all should be Compass Box. Like, put the effort in something that you can be over the top creative with, that has to sell your product at the end of the day, because you can't walk to a cigar lounge or a whiskey store and I'm going to crack this up real quick. Let me go ahead and smoke this before I buy it. That ain't going to happen. You have to be sold with your eyes, and that label's that first thing you're getting drawn to. So, if that label is like crap, you're not going to buy it.
Speaking of the label, could you describe, for our listening audience, the bottle of this Dettling BIB?
Yes, of course. So the Dettling bottle itself, it's in a short, squatty bottle. Also a short stout as well, spout. And it's going to be
for some reason.
and then it's all their bottles are dipped with a color according wax. So with the bottle and bond, it's going to be a nice burnt orange. And the same thing with their label, they color coordinate it with also the label itself. So the label itself is going to be this wonderful burnt orange all the way through. And all of their bottles will have this lovely gold leaf text with their logo. Their logo here has an 1867 with it looks like an Indian of some sort riding a horse with looks like to me, honestly, looks like, what do you call it? Some kind of grain or some sort like that. It doesn't look like a spear.
Oh, is it a hop or something?
It looks like
yeah, like a wheat stalk.
A wheat stalk.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking, like a wheat
It
stalk.
might be a hop stock.
On the bottom here, the very bottom, will tell you more about the bourbon itself. So we have a single barrel, 6 grain bourbon whiskey. Of course, this is bottle and bond, and it's going to have a 100 proof 4-year age statement on it. On the side here, it also tells you, which is really cool, when exactly this was bottled. So this was bottled on August 17th, 2022. It's actually a little old. It's been sitting on the shelf. But it was created in 2018 in July. So it's pretty cool. It gives you a lot of good facts on the side about it. For me, the more they have on a bottle about when and how long, and even a date and stuff like that, you're talking about just my nerd level just starts to.
Because the owner, Seth Dettling, is a big nerd and loves to be able to tell you, hey, this is what's inside here. Like, this is when we made it. This is the proof is supposed to be at. It's all handwritten on as far as the proof and everything. And for those you can't see, the spirit's pretty dark. And you're going to get that dark looking spirit, especially in Alabama, because we have some hot
and humid.
Humid. Especially where this is located, and basically going to be a spirit. It's down south Alabama. They are down towards the Gulf. So it gets really hot there.
Yes, it does.
So it's also got another specialty mark on the side of the bottle, and it says handwritten from Garth.
So I always, if I ever am gifted anything or of any nature, I want to write it on my bottles, just so that hell, this is from 3 years ago.
Yes.
I would have totally forgotten where I got this from, unless I got it and I wrote it why and
I
from
recommend
who.
doing that with your bottles. If you don't want to see it, put it on the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
To where it's kind of outside.
But for me, so now I almost like when I pour a glass, I always salute to the person who got it for me.
Right.
It makes the drinking experience just that much more.
Salute.
So thank you so much, Mr. Metal, for a wonderful bottle.
Oh, that is brilliant.
It's just a classic bourbon note.
It really is. It really is.
Really good.
It is, and you're getting exactly what you're thinking you're going to get. Just great quality bourbon whiskey. It's 4 years because it's a bottle and bond, so you have you have that nice wood oak feel to it.
Right.
And then you get the predominant note is going to be oak for me at this moment. But the caramely brown sugar molassy kind of notes is that lingering note on the back of my tongue, which I like.
I really like, when you say classic bourbon, there's something basically when we went on our bourbon trip in 2022, it's something I noted every single time. You're talking about that oak. It's when you first drink it, it's like the first thought that comes to my head, and this is terrible, is basic paper cracker. That's not the correct way to put it because it's the oak. But it's that wonderful dry taste right on the sides of my mouth. First initial pour.
Yeah, you have the dry effect that alcohol usually gives you too.
And I love it. I love that flavor.
For this, it almost gives me somewhat of a little bit of a malty note to it because
I do get that.
That's what he tends to like is a big complex list of ingredients. He is not basic at any means. So he's going to his recipe for that. It's going to be the bare minimum he has to be ball and bond. But if he can add anything special to it, he will. And I think that's what he's done here. That's why I love the Ball and Bond product for sure.
Yeah. So what's really cool about Ball and Bond is that to basically, there's a lot of restrictions on it because they try to make it as legal as possible and standard as possible. So that there's an established bar of quality that you're going to get out of a Ball and Bond. Right. But what's cool with them is that in the Ball and Bond, it has to be bourbon. So that means it has to be more than 51% corn. They say on the bottle here it says they use six grains in all. So 51% of it is at least corn. So, but they have 5 other grains.
Yeah, he's
in
like
there.
a master blender of grains. Like he loves multiple different grains.
And those notes when they talk about the grains, I've always loved that because it the way they say it taints in a good way. The way you taste it, you can actually start to feel and taste the grain, the quote-unquote grain, as you drink it. And I love that aspect of it. If you've never been to a distillery, you should go and take a tour, going to see the giant vats, seeing it in different stages, getting the smell of it. What was, I think it was Maker's Mark, where they had you put your whole head in?
Yeah, it smelled like bananas. It was like the most delightful smell you can ever have.
I want to bottle it.
It's fermenting mash. A candle of that, and I can burn at all times.
Right?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I've never found.
Are we alcoholics?
No. Connoisseurs.
I've always found those candles that say they smell like bourbon that they don't. They just don't.
Oh yeah,
You just
I know what you
relocate
mean.
alcohol from one place to another. That's all it is.
Yeah, we can say that's one way to put it. Sure. What's really cool, like what so just because we touched on it a little bit, but what's really cool about real quick, Dettling was founded by Seth Dettling and his wife Vicky.
Yes.
So with their brand, so they source all their own. So they source only everything but their corn, I think.
Right.
So I think they also make some other stuff too. Local. Most of their products are local from Alabama. They do, they do say that they're trying to get everything sourced on their own property, 100% made by them.
That's great.
Yes.
So they're moving.
Where did you say it was located?
To be honest,
It's big Escumbia spirits. It's closer towards the Dothan area. Closer towards the bottom.
I knew it was bottom,
borderline, Mississippi area. In Louisiana, just down that corner down there. I couldn't remember the exact location. It's kind of hard to find. It's not a distillery that you can really visit.
No?
It's not one of those type of distilleries. It's very small. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Basically, it's this guy who, basically this is his retirement plan. He wanted just to be like, you know what? I want to have fun making whiskey.
He did a good job.
And he started off, and like if you watch some of the videos about Seth and about what he's done, like he says, and he's very like I always say Blount County because I live in Blount County, but it's like real redneck Alabama, and where he goes, he's like, yeah, this beer was terrible. Like this.
Right. He's very brutally honest.
Brutally honest about his whiskey. So in the first, first year or so,
the industry itself too. He has some choice words about the industry as well.
Yeah, and so just in general, he's just, like I said, he's just a good old boy.
Yes,
Does he play banjo?
Ding dong.
Maybe got a pretty mouth.
But he started this whole thing in 2014. So
Yes.
I mean, honestly, not terribly long.
No.
So I mean, just going over 10 years right now. So basically, the oldest stock he has on his property is going to be about 10 years. But like I said, that first year or so, he wasn't 100% proud of the first stuff coming
still
out.
in barrels, and you kept them as more of like mementos.
Yeah. So, but for the most part, though, everything he's been pulling out of there, it's been going crazy. I know there's a local. I want to just say in a broader spectrum is a pick group or but they've done a lot of things on YouTube, and they've shined some more light on Dettling. Ever since then, you can't even find a bottle on a shelf anywhere hardly.
Wow.
And the demand for Dettling has gone up like crazy too. So I mean, in general, it's just a really cool brand.
It's a good thing.
Which is insane though. Is like the reason we're talking about it today is they're discontinuing the Ball and Bond.
And when we come back, we will go into more detail about that. And welcome back. Thank you guys for taking that nice little break with us. I hope you enjoyed any commercials that may or may not have played. Wink, wink.
Blue Chew for you. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Not a sponsor.
Maybe one day. We are getting older. How
Pay
you
for yourself.
How are you guys enjoying the Don Pepini RH?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think for me, I'm just still getting a lot of that earth notes. I mean, just a smidge on the chocolate, but honestly, for me right now, with pairing these back and forth, is I'm getting that wood and earth together with the whiskey. It's just pushing those two notes forward.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
At this point, I'm getting that leather. It's all blended. Like the chocolate's starting to fade off.
Yes.
And I'm getting straight leather earth. Leather earth. New band name, I call it.
A lot of good ones.
Sounds like a BDSM. Oh, yeah.
What? Huh?
Was it?
I didn't say anything.
No, this first start of this cigar has been awesome. Like you said, that chocolate notes kind of fade off. It's definitely been more of the leathery, rustic, almost woodsy, grainy feel. I'm starting to get a little bit closer towards the middle compared to some of y'all. Maybe not you, but I'm starting to get a little bit more of that, almost like a darker spice towards the middle of the cigar, and it's been enjoyable. And the thing that this is a $10 cigar.
I know.
It's hard to believe. It smokes like some sticks I've had that are $20 cigars.
I just say enjoy it while you can.
Right.
Because anything that's super good will always go up in price. That's how the free market economy works.
It's nature of the beast.
Yep. So enjoy it. I don't know about y'all, but I do have, I wouldn't say it's a new favorite, but it is a favorite. And I am going to kind of do like one of my favorite commentators does and not mention it so it doesn't disappear. But it is definitely another Habano. And it has a nice flavor to it, and it's around the $8 range. But one day I might reveal that to you. But always, if you find something good, feel free to share it.
Right.
But if it's so good that you absolutely just would buy it all the time, kind of keep it to yourself a little bit. You know?
Unless it's us. If you want, we'll keep it secret.
Yeah, you can mail it to us. We will have a mailing
safe.
address. If you'd like to mail us something, I will go out and get a P.O. box, and then you can mail us some stuff. That'll be fine.
Just like Gandalf says, we'll keep it secret and keep it safe.
That's right.
There's a lot of celebrities the same way though. Like they'll have their favorite stick and they just want to say what it is because they've had such bad experiences with after they say it, kind of like the punch.
Yeah.
After you say, "Oh, this is my favorite cigar," it's the punch. You couldn't find it forever.
Well, it's like at the end of the day, it's like even people that have money can only buy you so much. If the places can't make the cigars fast enough, they just can't get it regardless.
Right.
So even for them, we got to kind of keep it hush hush.
Yeah.
Well, then if they start making it too much, then
that's
where you got to get skeptical because there's a few bigger brands out there that
whiskey, same thing.
They'll start producing and producing and producing. You're like, man, this was really good when it came out. It ain't that good anymore.
Yeah, there's a ton of them in whiskey realm too. Just a real fast conversation would be just the cigar from Joseph Magnus cigar blend.
Oh yeah.
And if you get and again, it's so good. But if you there's so many videos of people comparing it to what they originally had it, and I've tried it in the beginning too. Didn't own a bottle, but I've tried it. It's night and day difference. Even though it's it's still really good, but it's just because it's the demand behind it's just gotten that's
smoked it.
Isn't that cool? You like that?
Beautiful.
So I took the smoke and I blew it into the Glencairn glass, and it's sitting perfectly. Normally it goes out. It's sitting perfectly, like something from Addams Family.
That's like that's a B-roll right there. If I've ever seen one. One crazy thing about this bottle that you might have noticed that's very interesting, at least I should say, about the Dettling brand, is that on the Dettling brand, it even has 1867. Haha, I was right. On there. And I've already told you guys, they founded this company in 2014. So why 1867? Is he actually had and this is a little speculation on my part, I'll put that at the end, but basically he got a license, the name from a distilling company in Switzerland. It was Dettling Switzerland Distilling Company. They've been in business since, of course, 1867, and they make this cherry brandy called, I think it's Kirsch. And
Hopefully, you pronounce
We
that
should
right.
get a hold of some.
it's very. I mean, I think. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not Switzerland. Okay.
should
But anyways, it is. At least I can tell you, it's a cherry branded. It was distilled from cherries, and it's basically a clear brandy.
We should do an episode on that if we can get some.
I wonder if we could. But apparently, it's
very positive on
apparently, it's award winning too, and everything. Like the guy. I mean, you always gotta be speculative with awards from.
Corntastic.
But anyways,
Multiple types
But
of
my speculation behind it is that of course his name is Dettling, and he wanted to name it Dettling because he was of course proud of what he wanted to make. So he probably saw the writing on the wall, or they sent him something about
it could've been either
about
one.
either or. But the thing is that their name was the
Same as his
same,
last name.
and
Like,
so.
perfect.
So basically, he had to license the name to make the whiskey part of it. So
Good for him.
yeah. So basically, you'll see it on his website where it's it's
Yeah, he tells the history of it, so he's not shying away from it, not trying to basically hide.
But also, he now gets, because he licensed it through them now, he now gets to have the moniker of 1867.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of
That's a win-win.
It's a win. It's a
for him,
win-win,
yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So let's get into the main subject here.
Yes.
This is a bottle and bond that they're discontinuing. The end of an era, so to speak.
Yes.
Why are they doing that, and why is this an end of an era?
Well, from what they have said, is that basically that they want to make the best possible whiskey they possibly can, and not saying that their bottle and bond isn't the best. They just feel like other things that they make are better, and that's
Right.
essentially what they come down to. Now we can speculate more. That's a good answer. Is it the real answer? And that's what we're really here just to have
Yeah,
fun.
that's the real controversy.
I have a feeling that they have some product in their rick houses that might have not been released yet. That he's tasted like, man, that is better than my bottle and bond. And if I release this and it's better than my bottle and bond, I don't know if I don't want to overshadow that.
Conspiracy.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's all this is at this point.
But in my personal opinion, is having bottle and bond takes up a lot of space and a lot of basically in his rick house. He's limited on how many whiskey barrels he can hold at one time because it's at the end of the day, it's still a small distillery.
He's already building more space too.
He's building more space,
More rick houses, yeah.
But if he's making this new product that he's found out that's been really, really good, and he needs a place to store it, I feel like he feels it is the right time to discontinue something, and the bottle and bond is one of those things to do it because it is very strenuous to do all the legal qualifications to do a bottle and bond.
That's my
Right.
big
and
thing.
I think that's
Yeah.
where he's trying to do away from because. Not that he doesn't like that being bottle and bond, because I think that's a good marker for someone that's buying a whiskey. Say, hey, that's bottle and bond. I know they put the effort in. Legally, this is what is inside that bottle.
Right.
But for him, I just think he needs the space. And
He's looking at the long-term
Right.
effects. Like, I would rather discontinue it now and bring it back later than keep it going and make all of my sales and the quality suffer and I can't expand.
Exactly.
And we want them to expand, as small as they are at this point. We want them to expand because we'd love to come back and go, guess what? We're doing the Dettling Bottle and Bond 2000 blah, blah, blah.
oh yeah, that'd be cool to have
The
Seth
new one.
Dettling on here too. He has been known to do podcasts in the past. So I mean,
It sounds like I'm going to have to reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing with this is that I think that in the beginning, a lot of new craft distilleries have a hard time getting themselves started.
Right.
And I think a bottle and bond gives their company, their distillery, credibility.
Right.
Because that it's gone through the process. It's 4 years old. It's gone through all the process that you had to make it to get a bottle and bond. It's gotten them to where they are now. But I think now that where they are now, they see that their bottle and bond isn't selling as well as their single barrel cask strength, which is what they're really known
Yes.
for now.
Yes.
And so I actually have a bottle here as well.
I was just about to ask about that.
Were you? And so and after we get done with this right here, I thought if we had enough time, we can pour it and then see and do a little comparison and see what we like more or less.
Are you telling me to drink faster?
I'm not, but if you want to, you definitely can.
I've been stacking dimes and I can drink faster. That is not a problem.
Seeing that cigar and then on both of ours, like how nicely it's been rolled.
Yeah.
Like if you have a stack of dimes like that, someone took time and effort into making it.
It's
So,
well rolled.
yeah.
It is
Very well
fantastic.
rolled.
Very good
'Cause
craftsmanship out there.
A little side note to cigars. You want to try to keep the ash on as long as possible because it also helps filter the air and cool it down as it touches the cigar.
unless you're an asshole like me, and when he has a big set of dimes, I like to knock it off.
That's true.
I've done it in the past.
I've seen guys, I'm not even joking, for those of you listening, they'll tip the cigar all the way up and they will smoke it vertical the entire time, all the way there. There's actually a contest. We're probably going to have him on the show at some point. Jason Pitted Prunes. You'll understand that later. Because he won a contest for that. He just walked into a cigar shop where they were doing it and he won. Because he was able to keep it lit the longest, and you can't have it fall. They judge it based on if it breaks, if it's too hot towards the end, to where you smoke it without lighting it all the way down to the stock, and you let it go.
That's
and
awesome.
He won, and I think it was like $1,000 or something.
That's nuts.
I don't remember the exact
I'm really
number,
curious
but-
too. It's like, so did they all have to smoke the same cigar?
Yeah, it was the same cigar.
Okay, so that's good.
And you guys have all smoked that cigar too.
Oh,
We don't have it
I'm
here
not surprised.
anymore. It was a Rocky Patel one with an orange label, and I can't remember. It was like a championship cigar or
yeah, I
something
think-
like that.
Yeah, it's still. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, regardless. So, switching back over, what's this other bottle? This beautiful in the darker wax.
Yeah,
bottle?
in the darker wax, it is their cast strength single barrel series. So it's actually a straight bourbon. So just for everybody out there who doesn't know what straight, bourbon means, doesn't mean basically all the terminology with
so
whiskey.
many jokes I want to do right now. So many jokes.
Well, then none of us can drink it. I don't think. That's one joke.
After drink.
So anyways, with straight bourbon, basically, all that means is it's been aged at least 2 years.
Yes.
But all of his cast strength straight bourbon whiskey is going to be aged at least 4 years and up. This one is just shy of 5. So
Yes.
Question for you.
It
So,
is dark.
anything over 2 years is straight.
yes,
Okay. What is there a name for anything under 2 years?
It'd just be like American whiskey.
it'd be whiskey. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's
It's
just whiskey.
American whiskey.
You can't even call it bourbon anymore,
No,
right?
it's just
it's-
American
it's-
whiskey.
Now you
Mark.
you're getting in the weeds here. So like I
Yes.
said, it's hard. There's
It's
so
very hard.
many rules and
It can't
regulations.
be. It cannot be a bourbon though.
Yeah, I don't think
Gotcha.
it can, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Has to be at least 2 years. And
That's good to know because that's an educational point right there. If it says straight, 2 years.
Yes.
Minimum 2
Minimum
years.
2 years. Now they're straight though, like I said, is over 4 years. So
it has to say
and-
straight bourbon.
Yes,
Also-
straight
also
bourbon. And what's good about their brand, of course, anybody who's going to have straight and it's over 2 years, they're going to specify usually how long. So they have it for 57 months. So that's over 4.5 years. I think it's 9 months. I think it is. Something.
And that thing looks like dark chocolate.
is
The
dark-
wax
like dark
is like dark
molasses.
chocolate. The whiskey is super dark, like even darker than
Right,
the
that
bottle.
looks like a whiskey that has at least 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely is.
That's what the Alabama weather can do for you right there.
In the wrong light, it would look like it was, some
What's this-
black
what's
Kraken
it-
it
rum. or
almost
something.
looks like a stout.
Which is crazy
Yeah.
because if you compare the two, I mean, they're very similar, but some reason this one's a little darker. They do say that they pull their single barrel cast strengths from the top ricks.
Yeah.
So they're going to have more exposure to the heat. So that
Oh, yeah.
means, of course,
Hot air rises.
like you just said, hot air rises. You're going to get more expand and contraction up in the top rick.
Insert fart joke. And I love the fact that they're using the wax they use on that one, whereas it's a dark chocolate look on the wax,
Right.
to kind of accent that, whereas the bottle and bond is a caramel kind of look to it.
No, I have
Yes.
a bottle and bond bottle that actually has a gold-esque wax to it.
Oh my!
Now, with a bunch of their bottles, if you're a retailer or a big a person that's buying a bunch of it and you want to do a pick with Dettling, you get to choose your own color wax with each barrel, each bottle, which I think is pretty cool.
I saw one just
You see some out of the
recently.
wild that has some pretty cool colors, like a
It's like that one bottle
almost
we
like a
did.
cyan blue
Yep.
they have before. It's
Scion blue.
It's actually, I know exactly what you're talking about. So I saw one just recently, and I thought I would like to get it only because my wife always jokes about it. If you have a wife, you may already know about Tiffany, the brand, the jewelry brand,
Even I know what that is.
and so they have a Tiffany's pick. So basically, they I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, but it's in the same Tiffany's blue.
Tiffany blue, yeah.
They
That's
they-
brilliant.
They dunked that in there,
And that fits with the same motif as like the wrappers, the labels. It's all got to have that nice curb appeal.
I will say too, if you're
beats.
interested in any of those picks too, he has a Facebook and I think a group on there. So like if drops do happen, because I saw at the Tiffany's
Dettling does.
Dettling does.
Dettling does.
So Dettling does. So I guess you go on Dettling on Facebook and find them. They have a Facebook group, and I saw that they release those on there. I'm not sure the process to pick one up. I've never done that process, but the Tiffany's one was on there. And I'm like, it'd be really cool if you had a wife or a significant other, a woman, who really liked Tiffany's jewelry, or just in general like whiskey. I'm sorry, like whiskey, and or Tiffany's. It'd be a good pair together.
So you see it on a Facebook group. We'll post the link to the Facebook group in the bottom notes, so you'll be able to find it.
Dettling's Facebook page is usually what they post a lot of their stuff there. Right. Like if they're doing a partnership with a local fire department, stuff like that. And a lot of times they'll sell those bottles at a local store down south, or they can ship it depending on where you live.
And that's the one thing I love about the reason we call ourselves the Whiskey Tobacco Fellowship, and we say libation enthusiasts and cigar connoisseurs and things like that, is that fellowship among brothers and sisters of the leaf and fellow drinkers and things like that, and people who enjoy all this, is that kind of community spirit around it. I mean, and it's a spirit and a community spirit, like it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Or spirit and spirit, whatever you want to say. I am just stacking dimes on this ERH, man.
You are.
Yeah,
Eric was not wrong
I'm
about
so
this
tempted to knock it off. I really am.
Don't do it.
I like being a dick.
Eric was absolutely right about this cigar, and
It is
I'm
good.
glad I decided to do it with this one,
I do too.
because the next one we have for next week's show is not this, obviously. It's the La Dueña, but we'll go into more detail about that later. I mean later as in the next show. This one has such a prestige about it that I thought it fit well with the end of an era, because Don Pepin is a rock star when it comes to tobacco. So I wanted to pair that with it. Not to say that the La Dueña doesn't fit with this category, but the flavor profiles, which Sir Metal here has been amazing with pairing, by the way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think
Unlike Josh, I'm just joking.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
No, this one's actually a good pairing. This is fantastic pairing with each other. I think they complement each other really well.
Should we do the dip with the BIB?
I will.
I mean,
I think I will. I don't know if
I'm gonna knock the dimes
the
off.
Baron over there will do it, but I will.
I will partake later when I have another
I'll plunge
glass
the
full.
tip.
Plunge the tip.
That's what we call it, plunging the tip on this channel.
Plunging the tip. Here we go.
Are you satisfied with that tip?
A little bit of baby's bathwater.
A little bit of baby's breath.
Name that reference.
It kind of just like mellows out.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not like
Doesn't
super
enhance
noticeable.
It kind of keeps it kind of neutral.
right. I'd agree, 100%. 100%.
Is it worth the plunging of the tip? I would say no.
Agreed. I'd agree.
No, you can't always have winners when you're plunging your tip into something.
Right.
So you end up with baby mamas.
So, speaking of plunge, Lord. Wolverine help me. Wolverine help me.
That was baby Jesus.
With the next bottle, the straight whiskey,
Yeah.
I'm eager to plunge the tip on that one. I'm very
Then it
eager.
wouldn't be a straight whiskey then.
Oh! I'm eager to see,
God.
which you're going to plunge the tip on that one. But I'm eager to see if we get a different flavor profile. Obviously, it's going to be a different whiskey, but if we enjoy it better.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because I'm slightly surprised that we're not enjoying it.
Because I love it separate, drinking it and smoking it.
Thank you, sir.
I don't wanna force you.
It bounces off each other, but plunging into it not as much.
I gave you this like second glass so that you can compare and contrast. You can give us a little difference.
I appreciate that.
Plus, I don't want you.
Because our dynamic with the group is, that's the reason it's the WTF. It's the W,
Similar though.
the T, and the F. I'm more from the tobacco world. These guys are more from the whiskey world.
I'm more fellowship and whiskey.
Someone else
Right.
got me introduced to this tobacco stuff.
But I know that's a great story. We need to tell that
Yes,
one
I know
later.
who that could have been.
But this is wonderful. Like seeing these side by side. The straight whiskey is definitely darker.
Man, the difference.
Once you go
So-
black, you never go back. What?
Basically, I wanted to bring both bottles because basically, with our hypothesis of them discontinuing the bottle and bond, they're leaning heavy, I want to say, into this cask series. And again, another reason why they would is that the market is demanding cask strength single barrels.
Yeah. That's massive in the market. Single
So
barrel. And also, I will say that he is in production of making a new batch of rye that are due to be coming out in the near future. Still takes time to mature, but he has been working on it for a couple of years now already. And I think he wants to lean heavy into those new revenues, you know. Having a single barrel strength rye, it would be awesome.
So on the nose, the bottle and bond is not as harsh on the nose.
Well, it would be
smelling
it'd be a
higher proof.
prior, the proof point difference. You got 100, of course, with the ball and bond.
Right.
Always is 100 with the ball and bond.
And what's that one?
This one here is 53.8. So if you
point something.
yes, is exactly what it would be. 0.4.
Tell them about that ratio, if you don't mind the conversion.
Of the
For people who don't know.
alcohol. So alcohol percentage is 53.8, and then the proof is always double that. So simple math times 2. It can be hard because
Just
math
add
is
it twice.
So with bottle and bond, they want a straight 100 every time. What do they do to make sure?
They have to have 100.
Legally,
They'll
they
proof it down.
How do they do that?
So yeah, so basically, after they go through the whole process, so basically, if you've ever been to a distillery tour, it's, again, I would highly suggest you do one. Most of your local, even craft distilleries do them. But what they'll do is basically, once the master distiller says that cask is ready to come out, they'll pour it, they'll vat it, and then what they'll do is that they'll proof it down. So say if it comes at a 120, they'll add an approximate amount of water to whiskey to proof it to a 100 proof.
Right.
So basically, simply adding water to it.
Yeah.
This is stout. I am enjoying the hell out of this.
Yes. And so this is the reason why they probably did it. Is that
This plunge is going to be good.
Well, think about it though. Also, on the other hand, like it's high proof and it's single barrel strength. But what's good about that is if you don't like it right here, sitting at the very hottest it can be, just add a little bit of water, proof it down. It changes the whole experience of that whiskey.
Yeah, let me
proof
get
it down
I'm
to
not
what
even
you
gonna.
think.
I'm gonna say too.
Well, you don't even have to. I'm saying if.
Well, I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying that I think this is almost smoother than the ball and bond.
I was going to say the same thing because it's like it may have a bit of a bite to it, but at the same time, I'm just enjoying the complexity of it. Mm-hmm. So, Josh, while I'm doing this, explain to them what I'm doing here.
So what he's doing is that he is actually watering it down himself. So he's getting it down probably closer to about a 105 range. No, it was at 107. So he's probably getting it closer to 100.
3 or so.
100, probably, somewhere around there. So he's basically proofing it down to a proof point that his palate, enjoys most.
Right.
Yeah, and if it's still too off from at that point, you could add a couple more drops.
So, exactly.
So this one, the straight whiskey, it has more of a bite on the tongue, obviously, than the bottle and bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that first burst of alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's,
And I highly recommend if you're trying to proof down your whiskey, you can go get you those little balls, little droppers, fill with water, and it's the easiest way to proof down your whiskey without having to try to pour a cap in there.
if you want to be extra fancy,
More
get
precise.
mineral water. It's the best. It's going to make
Yes.
it.
Really?
Mineral water, yes.
I don't think I've ever done that unless you've done that for me before.
Probably.
It's going to be a cleaner experience, so you're not getting all the tannins you would.
So basically, any
water
really
or
good
something
distillery,
like that.
they're
Don't
going to
use tap
use
water.
mineral water.
Yeah.
They're going to use fresh spring water that's going to come out of something. So usually
the glaciers of Alaska.
Yes.
So any famous distillery, like pick one for example, is Jack Daniel's.
Tabasco.
They have a fresh
From the glaciers from Alaska.
they're going to have their own fancy. They're going to have their water coming from their fresh spring that they're.
Oh, 100%. Usually they'll typically use the water they get from when they distill, and which is, like you said, is normally a natural spring. Because when you're distilling whiskey of any kind or any kind of spirit at all, you want the cleanest, freshest water you can get. Usually heavy in limestone.
Fresh and sour.
Exactly.
So you get all those good nutrients from the rocks into that water.
Speaking of funny,
Interesting.
cool little tidbits about like water and stuff like that, the quality of the water itself. The reason why the Kentucky range is so prominent for their whiskey is for their great quality and high mineral and like I said, I think it was limestone too.
Yes, limestone
Water. That's what they're known for. That's the
Limestone. I remember that.
byproduct of what they claim to have great quality whiskey. But it's also another reason why they said that's why they have some of the best racing horses, because they get all the grain that gets made from that same mineral water, and of course the water they drink there.
Yeah, it's a great historical avenue if you want to plunge into history.
Limestone is
wonderful.
so important to basically America. Like the industry I'm in, which is the steel industry, America is
America.
Because limestone water, you have to have limestone to be able to make steel pipe and pipes in general that you have for sewers and stuff like that. Because the compounds that's inside that limestone is so rich, it makes that steel that much harder, much more durable.
You know a lot about pipes and pipeline, don't you?
Someone's got to lay the pipe around here.
So can I tell you, when I proofed this down a little bit, oh my goodness, it opened it up. Because like we're not saying add a lot of water. You add like a capful in a bottle of water, and
Probably
a lot of
drops.
people have this misnomer. I had some guys at the cigar shop tell me like, "You're gonna put water in it? You're gonna dilute it down." I'm like, I'm not putting like half and half.
If you have a good distiller and master blender, they'll tell you 9 times out of 10, most of the time 10 out of 10, to proof it down if you need to, because it opens up a whole new revenue. And there's a good bit of distillers out there that actually tell you on the bottle, hey, add a couple drops to it, is a whole new world out there for you.
So I think what like a lot of companies, a lot of good distilleries do, is that there's a lot of masteries to this craft in general. With whiskey itself, you imagine that you're picking these barrels out of a rick house where you think they're the prime peak where they are, but they can't, because if they're going to say it's cast strength, they're going to give it straight from a single barrel. They can't change it. They can't touch it, like that. So, they're pulling it straight from basically the vine and putting it into a bottle. And so for us, in his mind, he could say, "Oh, well, if I proofed it down a little bit, it'd be perfect." But because of what they're selling and the brand and type, because it's cast strength single barrels, they're not going to do that.
Let the user do it.
Let the user, exactly. So give it at the highest point. Give it at the most natural, the most right from the barrel point, the nectar of the barrel itself. And then if you can't and not to be not like a lot of people can't handle whiskey at that proof point,
Right.
or don't like to,
100%.
or even in the mood to. But put a little bit of water in there.
Yeah, it's proof
Totally
down,
good.
and then-
It's better for you to do it yourself than for them to do it.
Because then you can't. Basically, if you put more water in it, you can't take water back out. So that's the whole point behind it, really.
You can't microwave it?
Oh, I'm telling you now, like smoking this cigar and going back to this whiskey, I've actually picked up some new notes
Yep.
out of both, and I'm getting like a nutty, chocolatey note.
Dude,
more so.
a nutty? I get that totally.
And it's
I
why I
bet
was
you
over
do.
here like salivating, because I took a sip of this again after pulling on the cigar a little bit. I had that dark chocolate, like almost like like an almond joy, like a dark almond joy.
Good description.
I definitely get more dark chocolate too.
It was something else. I was like, man.
Yeah. Well, we are
nice.
at the halfway point of this thing. So
Yes.
um,
I'm gonna plunge my tip real quick.
I know. I was about to say we got to plunge the tip and try it on this level to
Right.
see what we're looking at here. Let me put that band right there. All right, let's plunge this tip into the straight bourbon. It's the only disadvantage of the Glencairn is it's a little harder to do. That's what she said. That's better. That was better than the Bottle and Bond.
I pick up more of the wood tannins in
Yeah.
the.
So, I would have to say, if I were to give a judgment on both these are both great. I'm enjoying the straight one way more.
And see, and I think that's the reason why it's kind of going away from the Bottle and Bond. Not that it's not a good whiskey,
Correct.
Yeah.
but the market is dictating that, like you said, the single barrel strength is the hot item on the shelves right now, and overall, it's a better spirit as far as the Bottle and Bond
And
at this moment.
And that's what he said. I mean, that's what's coming from straight from them is that they want to make the best possible whiskey they possible can, and in their eyes that they think this is And what by this, it's the cask strength single barrel
Yes.
series
Yes.
is their better version of what they can make.
Yeah.
And then so if they want to, also experiment with other things, they got to clear space for something.
Right.
And so, of course, sadly, the bottle and bond is going to have to drop off, considering that the market dictates
Right.
what it is,
Right.
Yeah.
and what they also say is a better product is a single barrel cask strength.
And like we said before, I think later down the years down the line, I could see them bringing back bottle and bond in a new.
We'll do another
iteration.
episode.
Once they have
it
it
comes back.
more rick space too, if they
Yes, I
get
think
to that
they'll bring
point.
it back.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be great is if you still had that bottle when they came out with another one.
Which I still have one, and you
Like-
probably will too.
but
It's one of those
either
things.
way.
Once you have a bottle that's now going to be discontinued, it makes it that much harder to sit there and drink the rest of it because
Yeah.
you know you're
So-
not getting
Now,
any more.
please, if go look, wherever you're from or wherever you're at, look just to grab
Grab
one.
one. If you can't grab one, I know it's going to.
I've looked, and even in the Alabama market, it
It's
is
hard to find.
hard to find in general with Dettling. And and then I guess since it's news, it's I've heard a couple people with snagging some, but there was nothing left really.
Right. It's because also when they released the bottle and bond products, it wasn't regular on the shelf. It was only when they had batches out that they were
Exactly.
releasing the store. So as they're no longer doing that, they're going to be really hard to
So
find.
to kind of finalize this a little bit and to kind of piggyback off the last episode, which we talked about secondary market, if you could find this bottle on a secondary market, what do you guys, being the whiskey experts, do you think would be your max limit for purchasing this end of an era bottle and bond? What do you think your max limit would be?
For me personally, only because it has some Alabama historical nature behind it, that'd be the only reason why I would spend more. I wouldn't spend more than probably MSRP on it because of the fact of it's just there's a lot of other bottles. This actually is a pretty high bottle. I mean,
$70.
it's $70.
Right.
I think it's exactly what you said it was. Roughly that's what I was thinking it
It's
was.
around that area. That's the one I bought it for you. Anyway.
Yeah, what I've actually have seen some online shops, but again, Alabama is so hard to shop because you really can't get a lot of stuff in Alabama. But they're going. Some of these shops still have a couple of bottles, and if they ship to you, I'd grab one because it wasn't that much. I think it was like $80.
Yeah. It's not,
So
it's not terrible.
I would honestly, if this is going for 70, I would spend 80. That's big for me, and that's
Max 100 maybe?
Max 100 for me.
Yeah.
Max 100 for me.
Yeah. Same.
Especially just the fact that, and that's not me buying it over and over again at $100. That's me buying it one time for $100.
Right.
A spare bottle to have on the shelf that might not open for a while, might open on a special occasion,
Right.
or for some kind of anniversary.
for me. It'd be
like that.
especially for I
history of it, of
love
Alabama
the
history.
history behind it. But for me, one of my favorite hobbies to do, while as an enthusiast, as somebody who likes to diverge into whiskey brands himself, is to do like we did today, is do a taste comparison.
Yeah.
So if you have this bottle, you can taste this one and see the differences.
Oh yeah, and then years down the line, if you still have that bottle, you can compare it to the new bottle and bond. If it ever comes
Exactly.
out.
Which is something we look forward to doing in the future.
Hopefully.
Well, this has been a wonderful episode. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you have found some encouragement to go see if you can find a bottle of the Dettling Bottle and Bond.
Yes.
When
Go out
was the last year? Do you know the last year they've produced it?
It would have been.
Technically speaking, probably the end of last year. end of
Yeah,
2024.
probably
It's
so.
their
Probably,
last run.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is being recorded in 2025. So, if you see one with a 2025 on it, they're not producing anymore. So you probably won't see anything past that number.
Yeah. So I would honestly be curious if they stopped making it, as in they stopped making it now, or they already knew this was coming up, because again, it has to be aged for 4 years. So are they getting the last bit of their 4-year product and now they're saying it's out?
It could
That's
be.
the
We
question.
don't know.
I want to say
We
it's
don't know.
more in that realm. So
Yes, because if
There's going to be a
stuff-
cutoff at some point.
Right.
yeah. So I'm assuming
now
yeah.
they could be keeping those bottles in the rick house and just not
Right.
put them as bottle and bond anymore.
Yeah.
They could
Yep.
be relabeling them something else.
Yeah.
New specialty blend coming out that's used the old bottle.
So you
and
can
bond
get a single barrel cask strength of what was supposed to be bottle and bond, just not bottle and bond.
Right. Which is the right way to do
Which
it.
they'll probably do with a lot of their stock, honestly.
Well, this has been a great episode. I appreciate you. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Garth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And I thank you so much, Josh, for bringing 2 bottles instead of just 1 today, so we can do a good comparison. That
Yeah,
was a
no
great
problem.
idea.
I'm glad that you guys get to enjoy it, and I'm glad that the viewers here and the listeners could also see the differences that we think about it, and then make sure you guys are well informed. So if you guys see it on the shelves, you guys pick it up.
Right.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that the second bottle, I'm like, I really enjoyed that. Like, I like both of them. I like that one better so far.
Oh, yeah.
So it's something that's more approachable. You can get it still.
Yes.
And remember, go ahead.
I will say, before we end, it's been an enjoyable cigar, and I'd like to see y'all's opinion on this last third of this cigar before we head out the door.
I think for me, like those flavors kind of compound. I got more chocolate towards the middle I'm not even at I'm just not getting to the last third.
Yeah.
So for me, it's still real chocolatey, still real earthy. I think those, like I said, the chocolate kind of ramped up for me, and that earthy notes kind of mellowed out more for me.
Right. It's got a very dried earth to me at this point, and I love that. The fact that we got, this is going to sound strange, but normal earth, and now it's going into the dried earth realm.
Yes.
And it makes a difference of what you pair it with, too, because let's say you paired this Don Pepin ERH with a rum or a gin or something like that. It's going to...
out of the Scotch.
Or
I
dusty,
think that'd be
dusty
really good.
wheat.
Right. It's going to pull something a little bit different. The basic notes of the cigar are going to be about the same, but the libation that you pair it with makes a difference.
Right.
That's the reason we chose this with that, is to see if we can get a good mixture of pairing. And I think we got something pretty good with this one.
Yeah.
I think we really did. And that's going to taint us. I'm going to keep using that word. For future pairings.
100%. It's
Yeah.
going to ruin us. And I'm a little bit farther along in the cigar than the other two jabronis over here.
That's right.
Just because I have a problem smoking a cigar too fast. That's just my own issue. Don't judge me. And it's definitely, like you're saying, it is
He's got two
definitely like it is a burnt out bonfire-esque feel to it. Like it is a dried Sahara Desert fire you have.
Well described.
It is, and it is getting more mellow at the end as far as the chocolate notes. It's not as sweet, I could say. You definitely tell us at the end of the cigar, and it's almost to that point to where you just need to let it down. It's no longer getting anything out of it. But for right now, even this far down, it's been widely enjoyable.
The general range of when you should basically finish it is the thumb knuckle. When you reach that point, you should put it down. Now, there are cigars you will find that are so good, you will smoke them all the way down. You'll even use a nubber.
Almost burning your mouth on it.
Yeah.
So good.
To smoke them all the way
That's when I typically dip, by the way. Is that I dip to help cool off the cigar. So like at this point, this is where I would typically dip. So that it helps cool down that hot draw.
Thank you again to My Father Cigar for
Absolutely.
these fantastic cigars. It's been enjoyable.
You may or may not see Eric again here pretty soon. Maybe
Another spoiler. What?
Oh, no. What?
Well, I'm really thankful for the My Father
Yeah.
month so far. So it has been a fantastic series so far.
Yeah.
I am enjoying every bit of it. Every cigar has been an absolute banger.
Yeah, it has.
And
They were the number one, the first sponsor. So far, they're the number one, and other companies are more than welcome to try to trump that.
We're always open. We're like a good 50-cent hooker. We're always looking for something.
Jesus Christ.
But again, we are always very, very non-biased with anything. So if we get a bad cigar, we'll definitely let you guys know. We just don't love it.
I'm biased.
But with My Father, you're not going to get a bad stick typically.
No, never.
So that's why we were well open with this idea of a whole month of their cigars, because we could do probably 2 or 3 months and still not go through a bad cigar.
Because they have
agreed.
Whole catalog of cigars that we haven't even touched yet. That it's just be amazing.
Yeah.
What's funny is I don't know the number of different cigars they have, but you're not joking. We could probably go almost a half a year
of different ones.
since we do an episode a week. We could almost go probably a half a year smoking just their stuff.
Yes, easily.
And they are welcome to give us cigars to smoke for that.
We'll have the year of the My Father.
I mean, I'm not joking. We'll just revisit. Hey, you came out with a new. Anyway, I'm getting in the weeds. We appreciate you guys being here. Thank you again to My Father and Eric Parkinson for sponsoring this and having all this done. Thank you, Dettling, for everything they provide. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Garth. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. And remember, you can find us on all social medias. Check out our merch shop, the thing we have on there. You can find some really interesting products. Go to our Discord page. You'll find all the links down below where you can actually talk directly to us on Discord and pester us with questions.
All right,
and
we're always
things.
there.
Yeah, post what you're smoking in the comments below. Let us know what you're pairing, what you're smoking with. And if you've got a recommendation about a pairing, let us know. And we will probably put that in our notes to do at some point. And then we're going to reference you back. If you happen to be in the Alabama area and you've got a recommendation and you're around, hey, you may or may not be able to be on the show if you want to. Yeah. You never know. Just hit us up. Let us know.
What would you like someone to put in the comments to let them know they watched the video today?
I would say put the secret word of today is Gandalf. Gandalf. If you've gotten all the way to the end, make sure, put your comment again, comment a third time, help that algorithm. And, you know, put the word Gandalf somewhere in your comment or in all of your comments. Let us know you got to the end. That would be great.
Might get a shout out.
Get a shout out.
We'll pin you.
We'll pin you. Ooh. Right. Gandalf may get a pin.
Anyways.
Hit the like, share, subscribe. Make sure you do the reviews on all the podcast app platforms that there are. It's greatly appreciated. If you've got something negative to say that too. That's completely fine.
Just direct it towards Ark over
That's fine. You can direct it directly at me. The reason I'm wearing a purple shirt today. You know, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever floats your boat.
Purple.
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't talked about it. We can go in, you know, after this, we can definitely commence, but no one's saying anything about your awesome shirt.
It is.
Speaking of shirts.
We can see the back if you can.
Yeah.
A little bit.
For the viewers, it is the Balrog from, you know, Lord of the Rings, and of course.
Yes.
And it's subtle. It's beautifully subtle.
Super subtle.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a wonderful shirt.
Sorry, I just saw it, and you're talking about shirts, so I had to say it.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. We've come to the end, and we may or may not have drank a little bit before this.
Yeah.
Of other things.
No,
Never, not at all.
Anyways.
Look forward to some future episodes that are going to be incredibly niche, like our own personal equipment. And I don't mean... Anyway.
That'd be a short show.
I mean... It's going to be a short show. I mean, like lighters, cutters, the things that we personally recommend, what we use. Incredibly special lighters that some people have.
What's in your bag?
What's in your bag? Oh, that's a great one. What's in your bag? There you go. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time on the next exciting adventure of
Whiskey,
tobacco,
Fellowship.
Let's get a little better.